I mean, as you brought up the subject, Rob, of the Onyx Formula One team, one question I have to ask. Jean-Pierre Van Rossem, Moneytron, your sponsor.
You beat me to it.
Discuss.
Well, funnily enough, when we did our launch at the Hippodrome in London, Nigel described it as the most tasteless thing he'd ever seen in his life.
Was that the car of the launch?
I'm sorry, I've forgotten that.
On reflection, he was probably right. But at the time, I was sorely hurt by the fact that a journalist should be discussing taste.
Hey, now's your chance to get right back at him.
But, and also, we'd worked all night to get the car there. Yeah. And we took it off the trailer and put it outside prior to bringing it through the side door. And when I went back out, there was some Jobsworth had clamped it. And I do have a piece of video, because we had a film crew there, of me arguing with this Jobsworth to get the clamp taken off so that we could take it in to put it on the lift. It's a fabulous picture, and there's this Jobsworth stood there and I'm poking him in the chest. You've got to let it go, mate. He should have left it, we'd have probably been quicker. So, so we...
Would you like to tell us a little bit about the launch?
Well,
I mean,
okay. I can't remember a great deal about it. I mean,
clearly you weren't.
Well, in fact, I mean, Mike has reminded me what I said at the time, but I mean, it's just a long time ago, and I can't remember much clear detail. I do remember thinking, I must say, and I think a lot of people thought the same thing from the outset. Moneytron. Yeah. That doesn't sound kosher. Just does not sound.
Well, also we had on the side of the car an emblem which was Petit Lou, which was a baby clothing company, which was owned by his lady, and it looked uncannily like a pound sign.
It
and
did.
Of course, so people had Moneytron on it, and they thought, "Oh, how gross! It's got this pound sign on the side." He was, funnily enough, he was a clever guy. He was a professor of economics at Louvain University. That's how he started out, and he invented this computer program, which was predictive, so that if the president of the United States got shot, he predicted what would happen to the price of oil and the price of gold and all this, and he sold the system to banks for a lot of money. I mean, I think he was charging about $5 million a pop at the time, and he got it going quite well, and he had a lot of very heavy-hitting investors involved in it. And that's how, but he had an absolute love of cars. I mean, I could do this whole program with Van Rossem stories, but he was absolutely unique. Those of you who've obviously never seen the pictures, he had hair down to over his shoulders.
Well, and it also looked as though his hair probably could lubricate a car. He seemed never to wash it. It was, I remember.
Yeah. But some of the funny ones, we were at Ricard, and we picked up our first points there. I think we had a fifth with Stefan. And at the time, Porsche were talking about coming back with what was effectively two of their V6 turbo engines put together with a central power takeoff and a long, heavy lump it was. Anyway, they came and saw us, and Bernie fetched them down and said, "Look, this is where you want to be," and all this. So off we go to Weissach and meet them all, and Van Rossem says, I will come to the meeting. This is very important. So, yeah, fine, meet you there. No, I will fly over in the jet to Gatwick and pick you up. Good. So he arrives, long hair onto his shoulders, and a suit on, because he always wear tracksuit bottoms and racing boots. And so he turned up, and we jumped on the plane, and the young lady said, right, would you like anything to eat? And he said, well, what have you got? So she said, I don't know. So, unfortunately, he decided on an egg mayonnaise baguette, which, when he bit into it, put egg mayonnaise all down his suit, all down his shirt, in his hair, and he was pulling it out of his hair and eating it. And so we arrive at Porsche, and long story. Anyway, in the end, the deal was agreed. And as we leave, absolute confidentiality. Nobody must say anything until it's done, and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, we'll have a joint press release. But next morning, I got a phone call from Pierre Van Rossem, who said, "Oh, you've got Porsche." I said, "Pardon?" He said, yeah. I said, "Well, no, I don't know anything about it." Well, he was on television last night talking about it. So, of course, swiftly followed by a phone call from Porsche, who wanted nothing more to do with it. So I rang him and said, "Porsche are withdrawn because of your television appearance." He said, "This was not me." I said, "Excuse me." Not too many look like him. I subsequently got a phone call in the evening to say, "Your man has made the news down here." I said, "What's he done now, for crying out loud?" He said, "He drove his Porsche down to the main square and set fire to it." That showed him. So yeah, he was very special. I always remember he said, we went down there one day and there was Alan Jenkins and I, and he sat there and he said, "I want this to be a big team. I want us to have our own test track. I want us to have our own wind tunnels and our own carbon factory and everything. Do the work." So I go out and see the Earle of March and agreed a bit of land we could lease to put a factory on. I thought, it's a nice little test circuit. Got all the quotes in for all the bits he wanted, and that was it. But coming up to the meeting we were having with him, I had a row because there was a payment late with him. So I was pretty annoyed with him. And we got on the plane to go out there, and I said to Jenks, and Joe Chamberlain was with me, I said, "Listen, if he goes on any more about Fanta," because he used to drink gallons of Fanta, cans and cans of it. He used to have a big, in his office, wooden cabinet, one of which was a fridge, and it was full of Fanta. I said, "If he offers me a Fanta today, I'm going to tell him where to stick it." So we go in, and he sits down, "Well, how's it gone?" I said, "Well, we've got the factory on this site, and we've got the wind tunnel, and we've got the thing, and great, do it all. Would anybody like a Fanta?" "Oh, yes, please." "Can I have two?" Yeah, he was pretty special.
He did. Bernie wasn't keen on him. And I mentioned him just in passing to Bernie 4 or 5 years ago, and Bernie just went, "Horrible bastard."
Well, I always remember we went to the Belgian Grand Prix, which obviously was the important one for him, for Van Rossem, and he'd gone to press with, Belgium's biggest newspaper, whatever that is, and he'd said what he wanted to say by denial. So he said, "I want you to know now, I never said Jean-Marie Bellest was a Nazi. I never said that. I never ever said that Bernie Ecclestone was the mafia, ever." So I arrived not knowing this, and Herbie Blash has come out. He said, "Bernie wants to see you." So, "Oh, fine, what's this?" So I thought the truck was too long or the canopy was dirty or whatever. Anyway, Bernie told me the story. He said, "Get him up here." So I said, "Right, okay, fine." So anyway, I just said, "Bernie wants to see you." "Oh, good. So he walked up, and Van Rossem stood in front of him, and Bernie looked at him and said, "Listen, you, I've seen them come, I've seen them go, and I'm not frightened of the dark. Now go away," or words to that effect. He used to have about 8 very beautiful models at every race, and he had them equipped with clothing from whoever the best designer was at the time, all in the team's colours. I think we were in Detroit, and Bernie came down the pit road and he said, "Get all those birds out of this place, they're doing my head in." So we had to dispatch them.
Great. Good. Well, I'm afraid we're out of time, but maybe we can persuade Michael to come back during the winter for part 2, because there's many more stories. And you know what? I just want to finish by saying one of the nice things about going to interview drivers from the past for Motorsport magazine is almost every one of them says, "Hey, how is Mike? You good? What's the Mike doing? It's
and when's he going to pay me?"
Yes, when's he?
No, I have to say, nearly every driver I've ever worked with, I still get a Christmas card from,
Yeah.
which is quite nice.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah. still a sport as well as a business, eh? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Great to have Mike Earle here today. And thanks to Simon Aaron, to Nigel Roebuck, and of course to Ed Foster, who makes all this possible for us, and to Alan Hyde, who records it all. It's goodbye from them and goodbye from me. See you next time.